Welcome to That Magic Guy. Some of the most powerful card tricks are the ones that feel completely impossible, and yet require no sleight of hand or difficult techniques. Today, I'm going to teach you one such gem, a brilliant self-working miracle that allows you to find a spectator's completely random card every single time. It's clever, deceptive, and best of all, totally self-working. Let's dive into the performance first, so you can see just how deceptive this really is. To begin, you hand the deck over to your spectator and ask them to cut the deck into 4 roughly equal piles. They can do this however they like. Let them know it doesn't have to be perfect, just 4 packets from a completely shuffled deck. This step is completely in their control, and you should emphasize how fair and random this cut is. The more freedom they feel, the more powerful the effect becomes. Now take some of the packets, say this one right here, and these 2 as well, and give it a good shuffle. You can even hand it over to the spectator and let them shuffle it themselves if you want. It's important to stress that these cards are thoroughly mixed and in no particular order. Next, you'll ask the spectator to generate a completely secret and random number. To do this, turn your back to them so you don't see a thing. And ask them to silently count how many cards are in the packet that's on the table. Again, this packet came from a completely free and random cut, so neither you nor anyone else could possibly know how many cards they are counting. Let's say they count 16 cards. They don't say the number out loud, they just keep it in their mind. Only they know it. Once they've counted and remembered their secret number, you can turn back around. Now it's time for them to pick a card, again in a completely fair way. From the shuffled packet, you start dealing cards face up onto the table, creating a small spread. Let's say you deal out a selection of a couple of cards. Once the cards are on the table, turn away again so you can't see anything. Then, ask the spectator to count along the cards in the spread to the number they previously chose, in this case 16, and to remember the card that falls at that position. That card becomes their secret selection. Let's suppose for this example the 16th card is the 6 of hearts. That's now their selected card, but again, you don't know this. You haven't seen the card, and they haven't told anyone. Now you turn back around. The spectator doesn't say or reveal anything, they simply remember the card. Next, you gather up the cards they selected from and set them aside. Now comes the truly baffling part of the trick. You ask the spectator to do one final task to generate yet another completely random number. You ask them to deal the remaining cards from their original packet into 4 piles, just like they did at the beginning. These are still the same cards they counted earlier to generate their secret number. Once they've made the 4 piles, ask them to flip over the top card of each pile. Now add up the values of the 4 face-up cards. Suppose they turn over a 10, a 7, a 9, and a 6. That totals 32. Once you have the number, again, completely random, you begin to deal down from the deck. 1, all the way up to 32 cards. Ask the spectator to confirm what was their selected card. They say 6 of hearts. And boom! The 32nd card is revealed to be the 6 of hearts. Impossible, right? Everything was in the spectator's hands, random cuts, random numbers, random card, and yet you found it. So how does this miracle work? Let's break it down. This trick is what magicians call mathematically self-working, meaning it relies on a clever principle rather than sleight of hand. Once you understand the setup and follow the steps carefully, the effect basically performs itself. Here is the easy and quick setup for this trick. Before you begin the trick, you'll need to make a simple setup at the top of the deck. You'll place 4 specific cards on top. A 7, a 6, a 9, and a 10. The suits don't matter. The order doesn't matter. All that's important is that the values add up to 32. That's your magic number. So you could place them in any order: 7, 6, 9, 10. 10, 9, 6, and 7. It won't affect the outcome. Just make sure those 4 cards are the top 4 cards in the deck. Now you're ready to begin. Start by handing the deck to the spectator and asking them to cut it into 4 roughly equal piles. Make sure to remember or track where your prepared stack, the one with the 7, 6, 9, and 10, ends up. You'll need that later. Let's say that stack ends up on the far right. You now gather up the other 3 packets, not the one with your setup cards, and stack them together. This shuffled portion will become the packet they use to select a card from. To further sell the randomness, you can shuffle this mixed stack thoroughly, or even hand it to the spectator and let them shuffle it. The more fair it feels, the stronger the effect. Now hand the packet with the setup to the spectator and ask them to generate a secret number. You turn away and instruct them to silently count how many cards they have in the packet. This is their secret random number, and nobody, including you, should know what it is. Here's the sneaky part. By counting the cards onto the table, they're inadvertently placing your setup stack, which has been waiting in the untouched 4th pile, at the bottom of the overall packet. That's exactly where you want it. Once they've counted their cards and remembered their number, say 14, you can turn back around. Now take the shuffled packet, the one used to select a card, and deal out exactly 20 cards onto the table. Don't announce that you're dealing 20 cards. Just make it feel casual. Then, turn away once more and ask them to count along to their secret number, and remember the card at that position. So, if their number was 14, they remember the 14th card in the spread. They don't say anything, don't point to the card, and don't show it to anyone. Just a silent mental selection. Now turn back around and gather up the 20 cards, carefully preserving their order. Flip the packet over and place it on the table. Then place the packet in your hand on top of this packet carefully. What this subtle handling does is position the spectator's selected card 32 cards from the top. That's right, no matter what number they chose or what card they picked, their selected card is now exactly 32nd from the top of the entire packet. Mind-blowing, right? But how do you know to count down 32 cards? Remember those 4 cards you prepared? The ones with values 7, 6, 9, and 10? They've been sitting quietly at the bottom of the packet. Now you use them to reveal the random number that will find the spectator's card. Ask the spectator to deal the full packet into 4 piles, just like before, and flip over the top card of each. Of course, those top cards will be your 7, 6, 9, and 10. Add them up. 7 plus 6 plus 9 plus 10 equals 32. And there's your number. Act surprised, make it feel like you're calculating it on the spot, and then begin to count 32 cards from the top. And just like that, the 32nd card will be their selection. This is a truly astonishing trick. What makes it so special is that it feels like pure chaos to the spectator. They shuffle, they cut, they count, they create secret numbers. They choose a card you never see. And yet, somehow, you always know what it is. There's no sleight of hand, no force, and no peek involved. Everything happens out in the open, and it works every single time, as long as you follow the steps carefully and set up those 4 key cards at the beginning. It's perfect for beginners, but powerful enough to fool even experienced magicians when performed smoothly. Practice the flow, refine your patter, and you'll have a miracle in your pocket anytime you're handed a deck of cards. Thanks for watching, and if you found this tutorial helpful, make sure to like, subscribe, and hit that bell icon so you never miss another self-working miracle. See you in the next one, only here on That Magic Guy.